My name is Emily. I'm 27, born and raised in Western Canada. About 3 years ago, I married my husband, Peter. He's 29 and from Hanover, Germany. We met while he was studying abroad, and our connection was instant. After a few years of living together in Canada, we had our first child, a beautiful little boy. But life in Canada had started to wear on us. The cost of living skyrocketed. Groceries felt like luxury items. Rent was a monster breathing down our necks every month. And when I got pregnant with our second child, Peter brought up the idea of moving back to Germany. "It'll be easier," he said one night while we sat in our tiny kitchen, our toddler asleep in the next room. "My parents can help out. You'll get maternity support. We can actually breathe there." I hesitated. I barely knew his family. I'd only met them once at our wedding, but I agreed. We sold everything, packed our lives into 5 suitcases, and flew across the world. The day after we arrived in Hanover, Peter's parents invited us over. The house was large, beautifully maintained, and filled with the kind of heavy, old-world furniture that looked like it hadn't moved since the 1970s. His parents greeted us warmly, cooed over our son, and sat us down for a traditional dinner: bratwurst, sauerkraut, Kartoffelsalat. I smiled, nodded politely, and tried to take it all in. But I noticed the first red flag that very day. As I stepped into the kitchen to grab some water, I heard Peter's mother whisper in German, "She's wearing that to dinner. Canadians have no sense of style." His sister giggled. "Look at her eyeliner," she said. "Like a raccoon with a makeup addiction." I stood there, heart pounding, pretending not to understand. You see, I never told Peter's family that I spoke German, not fluently, but enough to catch rude remarks like that. I had taken it in school, used it during university, and brushed up before moving. But I wanted them to feel comfortable around me. I never expected them to weaponize that comfort. Over the next few months, the comments kept coming. At one birthday dinner, his father muttered, "How does she eat so much and still have that figure?" Oh, wait, she doesn't. His sister once laughed. "She's so plain. No wonder she married a foreigner. No German woman would dress like that." But the worst was when they commented on my pregnancy. "Look at her belly. Are you sure it's just one baby? God, it's like she's trying to break her back on purpose." I was already insecure. My second pregnancy felt harder, more exhausting. I cried a lot. My hormones were wild. I needed support, but instead, I got mockery. Finally, one night, I broke down in front of Peter. Tears streamed down my face as I whispered, "I can't keep pretending I don't hear them. They talk about me like I'm garbage, like I'm some outsider who doesn't belong." Peter looked shocked. What? They say things about you? I'll talk to them. I promise, Em." And to his credit, he did. The comments stopped, at least for a while. 3 months later, I gave birth to our daughter. She was perfect. Delicate fingers, full cheeks, a soft wail like the mewing of a kitten. We named her Lilith, an old family name. My middle name, my mother's, my grandmother's, even my great-grandmother's. It held generations of strength. Peter's family hated it. They acted like we had named her Lucifer. "Lilith means ghost," his mother said coldly. "Of the night. How could you curse a baby like that?" I bit my tongue. We chose it for the women in my family, not for a translation. But their disapproval was loud and lingering. I avoided them for weeks. Then came my mother-in-law's birthday. Peter asked me gently, "Do you think we should go?" I didn't want to. I was battling postpartum depression. I barely had the energy to shower, let alone make small talk with people who secretly hated me. But I agreed, for Peter's sake. We dressed up, packed the kids into the car, and headed over. As soon as we walked through the door, it felt off. Everyone rushed toward Lilith, hands outstretched, voices loud and eager. "Let me hold her! She's finally here! Give her to me!" My heart started racing. My body tensed. I felt like prey in a sea of wolves. I clutched Lilith tighter. "Sorry," I said softly. "Not today. You can look. But I'm not ready to let others hold her." Peter gave me a supportive squeeze, but I could see the storm brewing on his mother's face. Later, at dinner, I sat in silence. My toddler babbled beside me. Lilith dozed in her stroller. Then I heard it. Peter's sister, leaning toward his mother, speaking in a voice that wasn't quite low enough. "What a fat, ugly, hokey addict. And she thinks she's too good for us to hold her baby?" That was it. I calmly set down my fork, looked her straight in the eye, and said, in perfect German, "I have understood every insult, every cruel comment. You think I'm deaf because I'm foreign? Number, I've just been polite.